Hello everyone, and welcome to a special edition today here on my channel. And it's a special edition because we're exploring a swatch from their Olympic Paris 2024 collection, the Blue Heelflip, a chronograph watch adorned with the Olympic Games emblem. And as ever, I've been road testing this watch out and about, and where better to do that than the vibrant city of Paris here in France, and specifically at the brilliant Le Défense Arena, where I took this swatch to watch the fantastic water polo at the Olympic Games, before wandering around the amazing streets of Paris to soak in all that Olympic spirit. Now, Swatch is a brand renowned for its playful approach to watchmaking, blending swish precision with bold, colourful designs, and I have to admit that I've always had a bit of a soft spot for their designs, being somebody who loves colour. Now, whether you're a hardened fan of microbrands, an AliExpress worshipper, or just have a general passion for all watches, no one can deny that Swatch has become a cultural icon, known for its innovative designs and the ability to stay at the forefront of fashion trends. So it goes without saying that I'm really excited to be reviewing this watch. But before we do all of that, please do remember to leave me a comment at the end of my vid and hit the subscribe button now. I'd absolutely love to know what your opinions are of the Swatch Blue Heelflip and in all the future vids that I do. And please do stick around until the very end of my review for my usual walk around, where you will find the complete walk around of the Swatch Blue Heelflip around the magnificent sights of Paris. Now, it's actually Omega, who is wholly owned by Swatch, who is the official timekeeper of the Paris Olympic Games, and funnily enough I was lucky enough to see the official Omega countdown clock by the Eiffel Tower in Paris, which by the way looked pretty awesome. But Swatch itself has launched 4 watches that is a product officiel sous licence, or licensed product of the Olympic Games Paris 2024. Now, these products consist of the purple roll shot, inspired by the sport of volleyball, green backside wave, inspired by the sport of surfing, the Flick Flack Paris 2024, which is a watch for kids featuring the Olympic Frigie, which is the mascot to the games here in Paris. And lastly, but certainly not least, in the Olympics range is this Blue Heelflip, which is inspired by the sport of skateboarding. And it's this watch that we'll be taking the microscope to. So let's get started. So just to reiterate what was said in the opening 90-second spec, the Blue Heelflip comes in at 14mm thick, 42mm in diameter, 50.1mm lug to lug, with this strap 24mm at the lug and tapering down to 20mm by the time it reaches the buckle. Now, the dial of the Blue Heelflip features a deep blue background that sports a fumey effect from a really light cyan-like colour at the centre of the dial that fades into a much darker blue towards the edge of that dial. You have 3 subdials here on the face, taking complete prominence of the face, the seconds, minutes and hours subdials, each outlined in that cyan blue with pink markers adorning each dial. And also note that the pastel pink hands of the subdial too. And actually these colours, the typeface of the font, the style is all part of the Paris 2024 brand identity and colour palette. So everywhere you went in Paris, and indeed what you see on the TV during the Olympics, is a blend of these vibrant and contrasting hues, usually featuring this beautiful pastel pink, light sandy beige and vibrant blue, and a deep navy blue too, which adds boldness throughout. There's also usually the odd crisp white stripe too that really does provide a clean break in those colours. And that very visual brand identity of Paris 2024 is prominent all over this watch. The hour markers printed are in pink, the minute markers in that sandy beige, with only 3 numbers on this watch, albeit very bold indeed. The 12, 4 and 8, and again in that really modern Paris 2024 font. And note the Swatch logo too under the 12, and the date complication, very small in my opinion, at the 430. And the hands are pretty typical of what you'd find on a Swatch, though these are skeletonized, giving you better visuals of those chronograph dials as the hands rotate around the dial. The hour and minute hands are in pastel pink, with the tips of the hands in white, which I think is a pretty good move by Swatch. And the seconds hand is also this sandy beige, which actually looks a bit gold in my opinion, and is counterbalanced with the lollipop. But overall, yeah, the face of this watch is really actually pretty cool. It's very vibrant with the cyan and the pink, especially in the dark blue, that really does tone down the vibrancy quite a lot, so quite well balanced in terms of colour coordination. And I think that overall it really does capture the dynamic energy of the Olympics and of Paris 2024. The Swatch Blue Heelflip does sport Lume on the hands, numerals and hour markers, which is a really nice touch, though the type of Lume is unspecified, with Watch calling it glow in the dark on their website, which is great if you're a 5-year-old child. The case is made from a high quality plastic, and yeah, I know that we all live in a world that despises plastic, but in 2020 Swatch began converting its collections to use a new bio-sourced plastic derived from castor oil, and this new plastic is also combined with ceramic to create a bioceramic material, which also makes for a very versatile and durable material. The case sports the same dark blue as you'll find on the edge of that dial, so it feels like the dial seamlessly blends into the case pretty well, creating, for me, a very cohesive look. Its rounded edges and streamlined form adds to its modern appeal too, and I was fairly fat at a touch over 14mm, but I guess it's kinda to be expected with a 41mm watch. So it's only thick really because Swatch probably wanted to keep it in proportion somewhat, but saying that, their big bold range, which boasts watches with 47mm in diameter, are actually thinner at 11mm, so I do wonder why Swatch opted to make this a 14mm. You have two very bold push buttons on the right hand side of the case, very cool in my opinion, and in that light blue, and those buttons surround the pastel pink crown. Oh, and by the way, this is water resistant of up to 3 bar, so well yeah, please don't get this wet. That basically means 30 meters, but don't be fooled, this watch can withstand minor moisture from splashing, but should not be worn for swimming, diving, bathing or even showering. The watch comes with a durable silicone strap that ensures a pretty comfortable fit. Now the main feature is actually in its design, and it sports a gradient blue design adorned with the Olympic Games emblem at the front of the 6 o'clock strap. But what makes this another level for me is the quite brilliant pink underside. I mean, technically speaking, this blue heel flip is a nod to the skateboarding discipline in the Olympics, so to have a differently coloured underbelly is quite brilliant in my opinion. It's actually a pretty well designed strap, and it also features this dark blue loop with print, featuring more of that Paris 2024 colour palette on the outer and the Paris 2024 logo on the inner. Inside, the blue heel flip is powered by a, dare I say, reliable quartz movement, and already with that statement I can feel the hate from the hardened watch fans. But look, it's a Swatch, right? And most of their watches use an oscillation of quartz to define the time, and a quartz crystal always oscillates at the same frequency, and this natural rhythm is, many would say, much more reliable than the physical movements of a mechanical watch. Bearing in mind I said reliable, not accurate. And the battery to power it all sticks out like a sore thumb on the case back. I mean, yeah, you don't need me to tell you that this looks pretty horrible on the case back, and the thought of having a battery against your skin all day isn't great. But on a positive note, it really is easy to change the battery, I guess. And speaking of which, the battery does last, Swatch say, between 2 and 3 years, depending on the size of the battery and the function. For example, watches with the chronograph function, such as this one, may have a battery life that is less than, for example, a Swatch Original Gent watch. But these batteries are cheap, easy to get hold of, so expect to change this one every 18 months or so. On my 7.5-inch wrist it wears, well, what can I say, the blue heel flip feels incredibly light and comfortable. Its bold profile with very lightweight construction makes it almost unnoticeable during wear, which is a significant plus for those who prefer a, let's say, minimalist feel on the wrist. It's 41mm in diameter, so fairly big for a standard size Swatch, but it certainly doesn't feel huge on the wrist. The vibrant design on the dial really catches the eye in my opinion. I mean, that combination of warm and cool tones makes this Paris 2024 palette both dynamic and visually appealing. During my walk around Paris, which included the stunning Arc de Triomphe and the really dynamic La Défense Arena where we watched the water polo, I wore a pair of Nike Air Max SCs, light grey shorts, and actually me and my boys wore a Paris tee that I designed especially for this day. And this watch really fitted into the apparel for the day. I mean, this is very casual, right? But it's also a memento watch, and because of that this felt very unique wearing around the stunning city of Paris during the Olympics, and for that reason alone it'll be one that I'll keep for life. But yeah, it's something that for a day like this was a perfect thing to wear, mainly due to the fact that it's very lightweight and so much more comfortable than a heavy steel watch. In terms of price, you can pick one of these up on the Swatch website for 115 Great British Pounds. That's 130 USD or 130 Euros. Now that's not my own conversion, but what is listed on the Swatch website. Now I'm not trying to be too biased here because this watch very much has a lot of brilliant memories for me now, but the Blue Heelflip offers a very decent value, but mainly for its distinctive design and in particular, well, that it's a collectible. It's an official Olympics Paris 2024 design and one that won't be around forever. So for a Swatch collectible, it's very affordable and very accessible. Now this watch is also warranted by Swatch for a period of 2 years from the date of the purchase and under the terms and conditions of their warranty. Overall, I mean wow, the Swatch Blue Heelflip is a fantastic addition to any watch collection, especially those who like to collect watches that are maybe a bit of a memento of a specific event, and this being an Olympics watch makes it very collectible in my opinion. Its combination of modern design and lightweight construction, the former of which utilises quite brilliantly in my opinion the official colour palette of the Paris 2024 brand, making this for me the most collectible watch from the Paris Olympics range. I've thoroughly enjoyed wearing it around Paris, a city which is now very close to my heart. So as I said at the start of the video, whether you're a dedicated microbrand enthusiast, an AliExpress devotee, or simply an advocate for all watches, it's undeniable that Swatch has become a cultural icon, and they've done a brilliant job in my opinion with making sure that the essence of the Paris 2024 branding is translated into a collectible, but also at a very affordable price. In summary to that, for me, they've brilliantly captured the Olympic spirit in this collectible watch that is both affordable and widely available, ensuring everyone has a chance to own one.
Ah, lá atrás. Lá atrás. Agora sim tá uma arena de skate. Lá atrás. Essa configuração. Tem que já pro primeiro andar. Lá em cima. We're going to get a grey tea at the top. Okay. I want you to look for, you know what I do when I look at the top of Fiona? We look for the brightest thing. Like the colour.
Zeker, als je... We mogen morgen gaan wij door naar de IDW. Dus ja, ik zeg ja.
Goes out in audience. Says
ça vient un lien, je vais dans le plan. Pour le verre. Et on le voit. Ah oui, on le voit.